Welcome back to another episode of the Special Sauce podcast where we speak to incredibly talented, wonderful people about what their special sauce is, what their talent is. My guest today is probably one of my most favourite humans on the face of the earth. He plays sax, he plays flute, he plays keys, piano, we call it piano. He is DJing. I think he picked up a bass recently as well. He is incredibly talented. Jazzy B.
Hi, Brihony. How are you? It's a nice intro.
Hello, Jazzy B. How are you?
I'm feeling good today. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing 83%.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've just come from the dentist. My teeth are freshly clean.
Was that your appointment?
That was my appointment this morning.
I always assume you're going to the GP to get a shot of penicillin.
No, this time I was going to get my chompers cleaned. This is as clean as they get, everyone.
That's quite good.
Yeah.
Now, Jazzy, every week on the podcast, we get our guests to come in and write down what their special sauce is.
The special sauce, yeah.
Are you ready to give me your special sauce?
Yeah, I put it here in my pocket.
Excellent.
Here you go, Brihony Dawson.
Was this difficult for you to
do?
do?
Extremely difficult.
Yeah.
Like it was inner searchings, soul-searching, reflection, trying to figure out how to distill the concept of special sauce into a sentence. But there, I tried my best.
What were you doing when you came up with it?
Sitting at a cafe drinking a coffee, actually, on my computer, fiddling around with some backing tracks and trying to go through, I don't know, like musical projects and trying to zoom out and get a snapshot of myself as an artist. I probably looked into this a little bit too much.
No, this is
what
good.
was necessary.
This is good.
I was trying to give myself an outsider perspective on me and what I do and what my shtick is.
Have you ever done an interview before?
No, never once in my life.
Fascinating.
No. Actually, let me go back through the annals of my memory. No, I've never been interviewed before in my life. This is a novel experience for me.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, definitely. But
have you been anxious?
A little bit, not any more than usual. But no. What I'm sort of holding on to, I listen to a lot of. I love podcasting as a form of media and podcasting as a particular type of the exchange of ideas. I listen to podcasts all day long. In fact, I should listen to more music. I'm always have a guilty thing about I'm always just going to podcasts.
Yeah,
so
I play so much music.
That's true, and I listen to music all day long, even just in my practice, my job. So I am just viewing it as an exciting opportunity to add my own little bit to the pool of knowledge in podcast world.
I cannot wait to read this.
Okay. Oh God.
You definitely didn't do your best handwriting.
I tried.
This is your best?
I'm a school teacher. I think I have great handwriting.
This is a doctor's handwriting. This is
true. Okay, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Give it your best shot. You can sound it out if you need to.
I'm committed to everyone having fun at all times and can make that happen with a saxophone in my gob.
Yeah.
That is wonderful.
Okay.
I love that you use the word gob.
Well, I thought that was the zingy part.
That's the zinger. Committed to everyone having fun at all times.
It's a burden. It's a cross to bear.
Is that something that you put on yourself? You think it's a responsibility as a musician?
Not even as a musician, as a person. It's it's people-pleasing tendencies gone out of control. Do you know what I mean? I feel you get obviously, and it probably is intrinsically linked to the nature of performers more so than artists.
Yeah.
But yeah, every room that I walk into, I want everyone to have a good time. When you're on holiday with people, you feel like you're in control of everyone having a good time, or on a night out, if everyone's not having fun.
When
somehow
you're on an interstate gig.
100%. You want everyone, on the flight to Sydney, the Virgin 850 flight to Sydney, are we having fun? And if everyone's not, it's my fault,
Yeah.
So maybe in my professional life, I've harnessed that in a way, because obviously when we're in the heat of battle at a gig, it's a useful thing to want everyone in the room to have fun.
100%.
On the Virgin flight, it doesn't matter, and that can cause more trouble than it's worth. But I think, you're the same. A lot of our personality traits in certain aspects of our life can be troublesome, but we harness them as musicians and as artists in 100%. A way, right?
That was something that I really had to learn to do. I remember in my mid-20s when I couldn't keep a stable job and I was like, what am I even doing? How I'm in therapy, and I was like, okay, what am I good at? And I'm like, I've got a fucking great personality.
Right.
what can I use that for? And the first thing that came to my mind,
Uptown Funk.
no, it was similar. It was to be a sex worker.
Wow.
I was like, I'll be an escort. That's it. I am the best dinner party date that you could ever bring.
Yeah.
Super
Premium escort, I'd like to. Yes, high class premium. Yeah.
Premium. It never occurred to me that I could be an entertainer. And now I just whore myself out at every
Well,
gig.
yeah, exactly. One way or another, you've ended up at the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In relation to this, how does the sax bring people joy?
I think the fact that it's a saxophone is arbitrary. It's music. Like the saxophone is my vehicle for musical expression, and not even just musical expression. It's an expression of life force. What I'm very interested in what specifically gets people going in an audience and what people respond to.
Yeah.
And, you know, whether it's a saxophone or whatever, if like any other instrument, people really respond to an outwards expression of energy. Like, I'm alive and I'm here. And
that's definitely what you playing the sax does. I'm alive and I'm here.
I'm alive and I'm here, and I've got something to say, and I'm gonna do it.
And a little bit queer.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
more than a little bit. But that's the fact that I'm doing it through playing a saxophone, like it could have, you know, the cookie could have crumbled in a bunch of other different ways. I could be playing the tuba or something. It would be harder to express.
Not a tuba player.
It'd be hard to
Bitch,
express.
you cannot carry that tuba.
No. And also
maybe a sousaphone.
Tubists, out of all the instruments, they seem to have a very distinct, like, physical characteristic. Like, people look like a tuba player.
Tuba players look like tubas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think the saxophone has done me well in terms of like a primary instrument to sort of put my eggs in the basket of.
I would say that in terms of musical coolness, it goes vocalist, but like amazing vocalist, lead guitarist.
Okay.
Saxophone.
I'm happy to concede third place to those other two. And I think you're probably right. One of the great things about being a saxophonist is that you go about your life with people constantly saying, I love it. Do you know what they always say? Love the saxophone, it's such a sexy instrument.
Yes.
Which is funny.
Sexy instrument.
And it's interesting how cultural markers for because the saxophone is just a hunk of brass with a bit of wood strapped to it.
Yeah.
There's nothing inherent.
Aren't we all?
So true. But I guess just through, I mean, the 80s did us a great service.
The 80s was the time of the sax.
It was. When I was in first year at university and my teacher working a lot in the 80s, he was like, man, the 80s were so good, man. We all had a lot of work in the 80s. He did say, though, quite prophetically, he was like, this was back in 2011. He said, I feel like it's kind of coming back around again. And look, here we are. So maybe
Jazzy B was like, hold my drink.
Yeah, exactly. Not in this exact same context. You know, we're not on the top 40 hits. We're not in every rock band.
Yeah.
But there is a kind of, I don't know, renewal of the saxophone in the zeitgeist, which is great for us humble saxophonists.
And I definitely didn't think the word zeitgeist was going to be said on the podcast.
Babes, I'll pop it in any sentence I possibly can.
You've already said like 4 words that I've not known the meaning to.
I don't mean to be too flowery with my language, but I'm reading Lord of the Rings at the moment, so maybe that's like
you're the biggest fucking flower getting around.
I am.
I've also written down what I think your special sauce is too.
I can't wait. I wait with bated breath. Is it anywhere in the vicinity of what I said?
No, not at all.
Not at all. This is both your special sauce and your biggest blockage. You don't know how good you are. Kind of tea, Brihony. I get. But this is exactly like I was saying before. The special sauce often is the same thing as the blockage.
Yeah.
Right. It's two sides of the same thing. It's a double-edged sword. Yeah. Wow.
Because you're like a genius, right?
I don't think I'm a genius.
Okay, shush.
Well, that's kind of the point of what this is.
Shush.
Genius is a huge word, but
you're like a musical prodigy. Like you are, you're so talented.
Thank you, Brihony.
And you're not limited to one instrument, one genre, one industry, one. I feel like you're constantly developing your skill. And you're looking outside of not just the sax and other instruments that you play. And the reason why I think it's a double-edged sword is because I know how talented you are. And I'm like, are you doing enough?
Yeah, I know. Well, I wonder. It's all a journey. And yeah, I mean, I grapple with this all the time.
Don't stop believing.
Well, I try not to. I definitely do. I'm aware of the fact that I judge myself and I'm critical of myself, specifically as a musician.
Yeah.
I judge myself with a harshness that I would not wish upon my worst enemies.
Yeah.
And I don't judge my people.
But we do judge.
We have people that we don't like, whatever. It's not all sunshines and rainbows.
Yeah.
But no, there is no one on the planet that I judge and critique as harshly as I do myself. I don't think I'm particularly unique in that, though. I feel like a lot of people are like that. Maybe I have it a little bit more so than the other.
This is often a therapy session for musicians.
Well, this is why I'm here, because I'm saving money on therapy.
But I remember when we first started working together, I asked Adelaide Clark, I think, for your number.
Shout out Adelaide.
Shout out Adelaide Clark.
She's
a connector. She's a connector. And I was like, I've never heard of him. And then, you know, obviously we booked you and we've just become wild best music friends since. You come from jazz, you're very classically trained, like all of that kind of stuff. And now you play sax in like cover bands. You play
100%.
weddings and bar mitzvahs and corporate events.
Anyone who have me.
Yep. And I struggled with the same thing, but I feel like you really struggled with it because I feel like it's like, you know, Beethoven going to play a corporate event. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And you were worried about that judgment in the beginning.
100%. I think it's a common thing that particularly horn plate saxophonists, because most of the time, even though we end up playing covers, most saxophonists in this industry will still have a pretty thorough formal training in order to be able to do what we do. Yeah. And I feel like it's a phenomenon that is not just in music education, in any kind of creative discipline, in the education of creative disciplines at a tertiary level. I've noticed it in fashion design, in visual art, is where you go through a university, you get a music degree. Yeah. You get taught all the things you need to deal with music on a really high academic level, which is amazing. And you get taught the toolbox and the vocabulary to be good at your craft. Yeah. But in the process of doing so, you also get instilled in you this elitism, this sense that like what we're doing here in this academic institution is high art. Yeah. And anything, what they're doing out there, what the general public, what the peasants are doing out there with their top 40 music is just, it's disgusting. We don't even want to engage with that. In those first few years, I would always be so concerned with what if my old teacher sees this, or what about the people I studied with? What if they see me posting about this on Instagram? Still, I worry about it to this day. But then if I ever...
Have those people bought their own houses on their own from playing Uptown Funk?
But the thing is...
And Jubel?
Oh my God, Jubel's the moneymaker. When I have run into the exact individual people that I, have these worried thoughts about, I'll see them in the world and they're like, damn, Jazzy, like, you killed, good job, good on you. So happy that you're making a living out of playing music. Like, wasn't that the goal? And so
do you hear that?
Now I do. Now I do. Yeah, absolutely. It still doesn't necessarily change my own harsh critiquing of my playing, but I definitely don't occupy any of my time with what other people are thinking of me, because it's probably not even negative. And even if it is, it doesn't matter. It's fine. But that was a really long process of unlearning those kind of elitist, ways of thinking about my music making.
When you were younger, you had like a real moment where you realized that you were like, I think I'm going to be pretty fucking good at this.
At music?
Yeah.
It was probably my first piano lesson.
Really?
Because the piano was my first true love musically. This was years before I even touched a saxophone. I started the clarinet when I was 8. That was my first instrument, the old licorice stick.
Were you super camp as a young kid?
I was. I desperately tried not to be.
You were just a young, little red-headed camp thing playing the clarinet.
Little ginger homo playing the clarinet. Like, the level of cliche is delicious. I played the clarinet for a year. So in that year, I learned a basic understanding of these are the notes and this is how basic rhythm works, whatever. A year later, I went in for my first piano lesson.
And how old are you?
I started the clarinet when I was 8. Started my first piano lesson when I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a group class, 6 of us in the group. And the teacher goes around and spends 5 or 6 minutes with each student and gives us the book. And it was like, and it's the first lesson, hold on, I'll get to you all.
Yeah.
And so I go through this book and I just play the pieces one by one. And
have you played the piano before?
no, I hadn't touched a piano before.
But you knew what the notes did.
It just made sense. I didn't understand what the fuss. It's just like, well, these are the notes from clarinet and they align here and the beats are the same. And there's none of the hectic stuff about having to produce the note. Like you just press the button at the right time.
Yeah.
And then this teacher came around to me and I was like, I was on the last song of the book. I was like, and she's like, no, Jared, we're going to start at the beginning of the book and we're going to go all the way through. And I was like, oh no, I can play them all. She's like, okay. And then I proceeded to play this one and play this one and play this one. And I just didn't understand. It just made sense to me. It clicked in my brain that this is how it worked. And then from then on, I was like, oh, and when you're a kid, when something just makes sense to you, you latch onto it.
You
and you hold on to like, for dear life.
Yeah.
Especially, young, coming to terms with sexuality and things.
Yeah.
It's always hard for everyone. But this was, a couple of decades ago when that was some weird turbulent times for a young kid. And music was a thing. It was like, this is where I belong. This makes people like me.
Yeah.
Right? This is just what makes sense to me. So yeah, it was kind of that moment. Didn't pick up a saxophone for another 5 or 6 years after that.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a piano lesson.
Mm.
And that's when I realised I was going to be a bit shit at music.
Well, hey, we all have our own avenue.
I was like playing I can't even remember what the song is, but it was some sort of single note Beethoven-y type thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could play the notes, blah, blah, blah. I was using all my fingers.
Mm.
And,
I nearly went over my head.
and then he was like, yeah, but like play it in time. And I was like, and you know me, I don't do things in time. and I was like, I am. And I was like, I was just trying to get through the notes.
Right.
And he was like, no. And he gets a metronome out. And I was like,
oh,
I'm out.
No, yeah.
I'm out. I'm out, babe.
A student with not much sense of rhythm, a metronome is the worst enemy.
Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I've always struggled with rhythm. There's even been times on stage where we've been on stage together. Even recently, we've been like, I've got the hit, gonna stick it in the goal and stuff.
I'm the last line of defense, right?
You are, aren't you? You are.
I'm in the buffer zone. I'm like, no. Here's the one.
Like,
here's the one.
And I was like, the one? What?
Who's one? Juan?
Juan? Wasn't Juan on the side? Wasn't Juan on monitors?
He often is. Shout out Juan.
Thank you, Juan. We absolutely love you.
Lol.
I've littered my questions with philosophical conundrums.
Love it.
For you. You've mastered many instruments.
Huge call.
Stop it. Do you think versatility comes from curiosity or from never feeling like one identity was enough?
A bit of both, bit of column A, bit of column B. At first, different instruments, I don't know, it just kind of happened naturally. I think all musicians should have some
They all have piano. Most people have piano.
Either piano or guitar. It's good to have understanding of a chordal instrument for harmony. And then in high school, I got given a saxophone because clarinet and saxophone are very similar. So then I had a few things going. Keeps things interesting, I think. Keeps things fun for me. And I like, actually, thinking of, I've never really considered this, but I actively practice saxophone. I actively practice flute and piano. I like engaging with the different levels of like mastery, I guess. Like when I'm playing saxophone, have gotten to a point where I can express myself pretty freely through a saxophone. And when I am working on stuff, it needs to be like pretty high level concepts to like test myself and challenge myself. But when I'm practicing flute, it's trying to do do, re, mi in tune, and
do, re, mi.
Yeah, and going back to that level, it's just a lighter mental load, and I've always enjoyed engaging with different instruments at different levels of advancement. I think I figured out at some point, probably as a teenager, that people really respond from an audience perspective to multi-instrumentalists. I always omit from telling people that the saxophone and the flute, for example, they're very, very simple. It's like languages.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's like
Italian and Spanish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the perfect example. Saxophone and flute is like Italian and Spanish.
Mm.
It's not as crazy as, Italian and Russian or something.
Yeah.
But hey, if people want to say, oh, wow, it's amazing playing different things, I'm not going to tell them, no, it's actually I do.
Yeah,
I will.
I was like, you absolutely
I will.
do.
No, you're wrong. It's not
I'm
actually.
not special.
It's actually not very, talented whatsoever.
If you now could go back to little 9-year-old Jazzy.
Oh.
Yeah. Isn't he sweet?
He was a sweetheart, actually.
Yeah. And you love hiking, so you take
I
little
do.
9-year-old Jazzy
On
for
a
a little
hike.
hike.
Yeah.
What are you going to chat to him about?
Oh my God. Oh, it's so cheesy. It's like, I actually did, of all the questions that I would have prepared for, you'd think this is like RuPaul's #1 question. It's so cliched, but just lean into the specific thing that makes you you, because that is exactly the thing that people are going to respond to. And it's oh my God, I wish it wasn't so cliched. It's the thing that no one else is ever going to be able to do. Okay.
Mm.
And at particularly that age, very much struggling coming to terms with being gay. I actually thought, it's a bit tragic. I thought that being gay, I sort of believed in a God or a creator at the time, and I thought that being gay was God's like punishment or like balancing for me having like talent at music.
Wow.
I thought there had to be some kind of like cosmic balance, and it was his way of like, no, you can't be too good. I'm going to give you this massive struggle.
Yeah.
And that was what being gay was in my head.
Do you think if you just didn't play the clarinet, you wouldn't have been gay?
If I had just picked up the guitar like a good Australian youth, like a good Australian boy should.
The moment you blew into that clarinet,
it was stumps.
You blew the straight right out of you.
Literally. No, but I think if I had have I would have saved myself. And of course I got to the right place at the right time, as we all do.
Yeah.
But I would have saved myself quite a few years of mental turmoil if I just had have been able to tell myself that the exact thing that you think is your Achilles heel, like your big downfall. Your punishment is actually the singular thing that is going to, make you stand out and make you have I don't want to say it, but the word that came to my mind is a product, but I don't know, just have a shtick or a style that no one else is going to be able to do.
I would never have booked you if you weren't gay. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is,
I'm not hiring the hits, babe.
No, I feel like I came into the industry as diversity hire. I hope that in the time since then, but hey, I'll happily be diversity hire. I'm not mad about it.
Talent and diversity.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the goal? Like, what is your? I don't ask for like an end result because I don't think there is an end result. When will you think that you've made it? Where you'll go, hey, well done, Jazzy. Well done. The rest is on us.
Totally. If I can continue to maintain making a living off having that hunk of brass in my mouth, then that will be a big thing ticked off.
But you don't just make a living, Jazzy. You just bought a house. You take 753 holidays.
I love a holiday.
Year.
I'm a gay man in my 30s. What can I say? We love a holiday.
That's not earning a living. That's like thriving.
It's probably just a creative project, like a non-financial. That's exactly what it is. It's me playing music for sure. It's probably music that's aimed at a seated audience, a seated, ticketed audience.
Look at you go. Look at you go.
So I went to university at VCA. And your final VCA assessment.
And every VCA graduate will tell you that eventually.
Yeah, of course. It's gonna come up with the podcast one way or another. You should have just in the introduction. So we're here with VCA graduate.
VCA graduate Jared Brereton.
Kevin Brereton.
Yeah, I was like, you've got like a man middle name, don't you?
I certainly do.
Yeah.
So your big final assessment is an hour-long recital. And people come and watch. You have basically an hour to fill with music, and it's a very blank canvas. In the last 15 years, everything I've learned about music and my identity as an artist, it would be cool to have a go at doing that again. So I've actually got something in the works. But yeah, maybe sometime later this year, there will be an opportunity. But I know that when I do, it's going to be the most stressful thing that has ever happened to me. I will say never again 12 times. I will cry. I'll throw my saxophone at the wall. And then
it's very expensive.
It's very expensive. Don't do that. I have a spare saxophone just for the throwing at the wall. But then it will happen. I'll be elated and it'll be the best thing ever. And I was like, and there goes the life cycle, the peaks and the troughs of being an artist.
It's usually the creative process of putting that thing together and the people that you work with and the inspiration that you have and the inspiration that you give.
Yeah.
That is usually like the most fucking satisfying thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's life and its purpose and its meaning. You know, music is the answer, as that fateful song said. And I think they were kind of onto something there. It really is, for me, music, it punctuates my life. It keeps me in the right direction. I'd be lost without music,
I
Brihony.
would be exactly the same.
Of all the demons I've battled over my life, if there wasn't music to always just pull me back onto the straight and narrow, it would have been stumps.
Yeah. I think that's why a lot of creatives can totally fucking go off the rails as well because they haven't, you get so caught up in stuff and then you haven't honored your like purpose, your gift, your thing. And like when you get off track, the world just goes,
yes.
And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then you have to burn down that whole part of your life just to get back on and be like, oh, that's, sorry, guy.
Sorry, guys, we're back in the game.
We're back in. We're back in.
Yeah.
Because you also teach.
I do.
And that to me sounds like the most excruciating thing that I could ever possibly do. And I need to know why you need to teach smelly teenagers.
I mean, when I started teaching instrumental music when I was 16, and it was just my job. It was just my part-time job.
Yeah.
And it was a means to an end of like paying the bills. And then I left uni and I took on more teaching. And then I was a music teacher who did the occasional gig.
Yeah.
And then over the course of the last, 10 years, particularly in the last 5 or 6, then the gigs, sort of the gig life
blew up,
blossoms and flourishes. And then it got to a point where it's like, oh, well, actually, I've achieved I don't need to be a teacher anymore. But then I got to that point and realized, oh, I've actually kind of started to like it and to really get something out of being a teacher. I get a sense of vocation from it. I enjoy engaging with music on an academic level.
Yeah.
Still, I love music and I love to run my mouth, and like teaching's kind of perfect for that.
It really is.
It really is. It's a bit cheesy, but music, did kind of save my life in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And that was largely due to very inspiring music teachers that I had when I was in high school.
Yeah.
The idea of I could be the really inspiring, really engaged, really passionate teacher for kids who might be on the fence of sticking around with saxophone lessons or not, provides a lot of meaning to my life.
And what do the kids call you?
It's Mr. B. I get a lot of Mr. B, which I love because like my whole educational philosophy is just Mr. G from Summer Heights High. Welcome to Mr. B's. Like I really lean into that, and I'll like mince around the staff room and like coffee before we teachy. Like I really lean into that. But I'll get sir sometimes, which is like to me because I went straight from being at a sir and miss school to teaching it's not that strange to me.
Because when you come from teaching to like a sound check, you
and
don't look like you.
No.
You're like in your full muggle clothes.
But I love that too.
You're like in chinos and like a shirt.
Yeah, a shirt.
Like camel chinos.
No, well, I think we've evolved from the camel chinos these days.
Okay.
But
what are they, maroon?
Yeah, no, I wear actually these are my teaching pants actually.
Are they?
That's all right. These are just Dickies. They're fine. I'm the cool teacher.
Oh yeah.
No, I actually get a lot out of. I love the double life aspect of it. At teaching, like it doesn't really matter what I look like. Like when, in our profession, you kind of have to look your best all the time, and like
you
that's
get books
exhausting.
because you're hot, honey. You know what I mean?
Well, but it's always like, oh, I need to look like the best I possibly can. 5 nights a week. Like, I know that people are dying out there, but like it's exhausting. Whereas at school, it's fine.
Can't wait to clip that one up on a carousel.
At school, it's
I know people are dying, but like I've got to look good.
It's exhausting trying to be hot. But it's still just as much a part of me, I can be I get to lean into a different side of myself. That's not the like, Jazzy B, which I think I get a lot from.
Yeah. You said something before about leading a double life. And I feel like there's a double life that you are not leaning into.
What do you mean?
Because I feel like there's a little part of you that wants to be a vocalist. And we've talked about this
Little.
because you love a little falsetto moment on stage.
100%. Jazzy B loves to sing.
The-
Anyone who's ever lived with me will tell you that Jazzy B loves to sing.
In all the videos we'll take on stage, you'll just hear Jazzy being like, "Ah!"
I love it.
In the green room.
In the green room. I really am only a saxophonist because in my mind, it's the next best thing to being a vocalist if you can't actually sing. And you know what frustrates me to no end, Brihony, is when you are a jazz-trained horn player,
Yeah.
I can hit the notes,
Yeah.
you know, my voice will do the thing, and I know the licks and the runs and the harmonies, like I can execute all that, I reckon, pretty well.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't sound nice. I just don't think
does.
I know it doesn't. The tone of my voice is just like, it's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit nasally.
gay.
It's a bit faggy.
It's a bit fucking gay, mate.
And I don't know, mate, I've always thought, what if I worked with like a resonance coach or something? But then why do I talk like this?
My favourite thing is when you try and butch it up around straight guys and you're like, "G'day, mate." And I'm like, who the fuck is that?
It's always to the sound guy. Oh, yeah, g'day, my name's Jared and I'm playing sax.
Because Karina thinks I get so camp around you.
Right.
Because I'm just start clutching my pearls because I think essentially I'm pretty much a gay man.
You are a gay man.
And then you just come out with "G'day, mate."
I
I'm
know.
like, we don't do that.
No, my mates will give me shit about this as well when, I don't know, like at a customer service interaction or something, when it's an obviously straight man, I butch it up. I will defend myself by saying that, I don't know, the spectrum of gender expression, whatever you want to call it, it's all fun and games. It's all up for the taking. And I have as much fun leaning into masculinity as I do being camp and this and that.
Yeah.
It's all up. Life is a cabaret. Oh,
Tell me, isn't it?
It really is. So, I mean, in the wise words of Liza.
So there's a bit that I always try and make you do on stage, and it is the little bridge, the little breakdown.
I've got 2 tickets to Iron Maiden. Oh, I did it with my chest voice for the first time.
Yeah, and then I was like, do it with your chest voice. You're like,
come on, girl! And I did it into your microphone when it's going into your in-ears.
Yeah, and it's my favourite. And I was like,
thank you, Brihony.
What if my diva, Jazzy B, could express himself as a vocalist, but on the sax?
Okay.
And so I'm like, what if we play a sample of some like really famous vocal runs and then you play them on sax?
I reckon I've got this, Brihony Dawson.
Yeah,
I reckon this has got me written all over it.
Obviously, the first one I had to put in was Christina Aguilera, Dirty. Wanna get dirty! You ready?
Gotcha.
Let's do it. Yes, that was good. Okay, the next one, obviously, I had to choose a Mariah song.
Yeah.
We're going to go with Emotions.
Is it the whistle tones?
Yeah. Yeah. Jazzy B doing Mariah. Take it,
That's
Jazzy.
fine. That's one of my faves.
The last one is a favourite of mine.
Yeah.
Tribute by Tenacious D.
Yeah.
Do gay men listen to that?
Back when it was on So Fresh Hits of Summer 2002, I certainly did.
Of course. We always forget about the impact of So Fresh.
Of So Fresh.
Let's hear it.
We are but men rock.
That's nice. So let's get into the corporate gig life. I feel like everybody has got like a real gig nightmare. Like a gig where you go in and just nothing is right from the get-go.
There is one that comes to mind. I'm very thankful to say that I also can probably count on one hand the amount of times they've been that bad. But the one in particular that was actually deeply traumatic, it was a wedding.
There's almost always weddings.
I was going to say,
almost
as so many are. Because the thing with weddings are, the stakes are high. You know, relatively high profile. Everything's pretty slick and schmick. You know, it's a big deal. First dance is happening. DJ triggers the song. Files corrupt. It's not happening.
That makes me feel anxious right now.
Doesn't it just like spike the cortisol straight away? It's getting a bit awkward, the room's getting impatient.
They've gone, so the first dance has stopped like
Yeah.
mid-dance, and then the DJ has gone back and played the song from the top again.
And it's happened again.
And it's happened again.
Yeah.
How many times did that happen?
Like 4 or 5.
Wow, they went 4 or 5.
Yeah,
and
they
like,
went for it.
maybe this time it'll be better.
Yeah.
Maybe this time.
Yeah.
Yep, okay, cool. And then what happened?
So the wedding planner, like, sort of stage manager of the night, was like, Jazzy, just like go out there, like go and sort of save the day, because that will often happen in a moment of technical difficulty.
Yep.
I'm the one holding something that is not affected by it. Like the
Mhm.
decks go out, throw something on the saxophone,
Yep.
right? It often does get you out of jail.
Yeah.
Not in this. So I go out there completely off the cuff, and the look I got from like everyone in the bridal party, which I just wanted the world to end. And then someone I knew at the wedding was like, like get out of there right now.
Someone there.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
get
like,
up.
Jazzy, get out of there right now. And then
Were you playing the song? Like
I didn't know what the song was.
Okay, yeah.
Just playing.
Yeah.
I'm playing random flurries of notes. It was the
You were
most.
like, look at me!
Oh, no, it was
Here
so-
I come
you
to
know,
save
like,
the day.
Look, and
What did the bride and groom do? Assuming it was a bride and groom.
yeah, it was a bride and groom. Just weren't happy.
They didn't
And
continue the first step.
and it looked like I had just off my own bat been like, I'm the fucking saxophone player. I'll just like sail in here and save the day.
Wow.
I had been, pushed out against my will. And then after that, I then needed to go and like make my big entrance again and start playing for 2 hours. Nightmare fuel. But hey, it's the magic of live theatre, darling. Like it happens. You sort of have to roll with the punches.
You
And-
really do.
And in those moments, I have to remind myself we're not saving lives. In fact, I say that to myself at least once a year.
Yeah.
We're not saving lives here. It's all going to be okay.
I know, but sometimes it does feel
It
like
feels-
you're saving lives.
Well, yeah, true.
I feel
or
like there's a
ending them.
lot of event managers who should not be in high stressful situations.
Sure.
So they probably shouldn't have gotten to events.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate like a really firm, direct instruction, questioning, what are we doing, that real problem solving type of thing.
Yeah.
What I can't handle is the hysteria.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you got it. And you're like, I'm a singer.
Yeah,
Just,
right.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, there's a lot of stressy people out there.
And it comes with the territory. It's an inevitable part of events that it comes with high stress situations.
Because they cost a lot of money.
Yeah, and the stakes are high.
Yeah.
Really a big part of the day-to-day of our jobs is like huge spikes of stress followed by like floods of euphoria when everything goes well.
Yeah.
And I wonder sometimes, because they reckon low cortisol life is the way to health and longevity.
It sounds like the most boring thing I've ever fucking heard.
What about like if the net product is good, but in order to get there, we're swinging back and forth between like cortisol flowing through our bodies.
Here's the equilibrium, and here's where
and we
go
probably
from.
end up above equilibrium.
Do you
But
reckon?
I think I do.
Yeah.
I think the post-gig glow always outweighs.
You do have quite a large post-gig
I
glow,
do.
don't you?
I- and
What
I-
have been some of your favourite gigs? Like, do you like a bigger crowd? Do you like the spotlight more? Do you like being in the band? Do you like more solo stuff? What makes you feel good?
Any and all of the above. All of the above. I think, variety across the gigs is really important to me in my gig landscape. But my favorite gigs are, there's 2 metrics for me. The first one is it being a good party and a good vibe. That's the global thing that has to happen. But then the second one, which also needs to happen, is did I impact the event in a positive way? Because sometimes it's a great party, but it would have been a great party even if you weren't there. And
Yeah.
you didn't necessarily, especially as a saxophone player, like we don't have the human voice to immediately cut through a vibe of a thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a great party, but I'm just like buzzing around and I
Yeah.
go home being like, yeah, cool. But the ones that really give you a smile on the dial when you're on the M3 home is like, that was a sick party and I contributed a part
Yeah.
to that. Maybe
Is there one that comes to mind?
done some really fun weddings recently.
Mm.
I had a really good wedding season. One in particular down in the peninsula, actually, that's why the M3 was in my head. I love when I can feel that my presence shifts the energy in the room,
Yeah.
And I love the idea that someone would go home and be like, oh, it wouldn't have been the same if that sax guy wasn't there.
That's how I feel about them as well.
Yeah.
But then what also comes over that was like, Also, what did I say? Oh my God, did that person get offended? Did I hear that?
Maybe I should
when you're
count. Of course,
coming down off the high.
maybe I should count my lucky stars that you can't offend people with. Actually, you can offend people with saxophone playing. You absolutely can.
Jubel.
Yeah, Jubel again. No, I've come 360 with Jubel.
Have you?
Yes, absolutely. Of all the sax repertoire, it's really the only one that actually gives you a chance to really flex some technique, like some,
Yeah.
destination unknown, bop, 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 bop. Oh, and bop, 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 bop. So, okay,
Yeah.
saxo beat, same thing. But with Jubel, it's like, well, if that didn't exist, like, what's going to separate the, the adults from the kids?
I once asked that to Jack Jones, Erwin Thomas, who was in Southern Sons, who had the song "Hold Me in Your Arms," which is like one of the greatest songs ever fucking written. Hello, Jack, if you're watching. But he goes, I didn't play that song for like years, like years and years and years. I said, why? And he goes, I was so sick of singing it. And he goes, but it's come back around full circle.
Right.
He goes, and now I appreciate it. Like it brings people joy.
Yeah, totally. Exactly.
And it's like, isn't that the main reason why we do all of this?
Isn't that the point?
That's the thing.
That's not the point. I'm completely like that with Jubel. Like it always, it's a guaranteed moment every time.
Yeah.
Also, I think it had a bit of a TikTok thing.
Resurgence.
It had
recently.
a TikTok, like the drop of it.
Yeah.
It went across all people's videos of like this and like an Aperol Spritz on the Amalfi Coast. So people just associate it with like Euro summers. I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you, TikTok.
That's where I'm at.
Thank you, Tiki Toki.
This is another little philosophical question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a part of yourself that only exists when you're on stage?
1,000,000%. Good question. Obviously my knee-jerk reaction just then was like, yes, 100%. But then I thought about how often my close friends will be like, all right, Jared, like you're not on stage anymore. Like when we're like at casual drinks with the girls, you know, like and I'm sure you have the same thing as well. I would expect that to be the case. It's like, all right, the gig finished a couple of hours ago. Like it's always a performance,
Sometimes I love putting on dinner and a show though.
No, but
do you know what I mean? But I feel like that's still me. I don't feel like there's anything inauthentic about entertainment, whether it's in this conversation that we're having now, or whether it's on a stage, or whether you're having a fucking D&M with your most fucking depressed friend and you're trying to help them not do bad things.
Yeah.
I feel like there is a form of, not entertainment to that, but there's a form of performance.
Life is a cabaret.
Yeah. But that for me feels so authentic.
When I was a kid, actually even in primary school, and I remember I had a best friend at the time, like grade 3, grade 4. And one time he's like, Jared, you're such a show-off. Derogatory,
Yeah.
And at that moment, I sort of clocked like, oh, I kind of am. Is this something that I need to reel in or be aware of? And over my life, I think I have in certain aspects tried to reel it in, but then it's also been the part of me that has been the most rewarded professionally and myself as an artist. Like I said, the saxophone, it really is just a vehicle for me to express myself as a dyed-in-the-wool show pony.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. I do feel like sometimes that Jazzy B is an alter ego. Actually, and in fact, I ever since it's like Jazzy B had been the stage name or whatever, which you christened me with, by the way. That was always a Bridie Dawsonism. Put that on the record.
It's on the record.
It is on the record. But it's like when I'm turning up to the gig, if you're feeling a little bit anxious, or there's plenty of times where I'm just not quite in the mood to have everyone stare at me while I play saxophone.
Yeah.
I get out of the car and I'm like, okay, cool. Like Jared can stay here. It's Jazzy B's turn now.
Yeah.
So there is, an alter ego or the double life feeling, which helps me to just kind of like turn it on when you need to turn it on.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time I'm there naturally, but not every single time I go to play.
Do you find that there is an authenticity in that as well, though?
Well, yeah, of course, because the alter ego still came from me, but that's me at my best.
Yeah.
When you're 2/3 of the way through, halfway through the second set at like a rocking gig, and Karina Chavez is singing "Show Me Love," and when you get to that mode, and I'm just bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
You can't call on that naturally, but you can kind of like force your way into it. So that you
can dig it up.
You can dig it up so that you give the show, because that's the product that people want.
I think that's also the advantage of being in a band
Mm-hmm.
Is
Oh my God, I love that.
there's 5 of us on stage. Everyone is a fucking superstar, and everyone has their moments and their things that they do that they're just like,
Yeah.
it's them, and I feel like we're all still in awe of each other.
That is 100% true.
And there's days that you're fucking having a shit time, and you might be pissed off at each other as well. Sometimes we'll come in and Maddie and I'll have a disagreement, but then he's like my brother.
Totally. It's family vibes for sure.
It's really family vibes.
Yeah.
And then you can have an argument and then you're fine. And you go, actually, that's my family.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it all just comes together on stage, and everyone has their moments, and people know when you're not having a night. And
there's 4 of us, the other ones that we can we can pull the weight a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. A rising tide raises all boats.
Oh, Jazzy B.
No, I get a lot from the band's dynamic of us in Midnight Mix as well.
Yeah, same.
I think as a sax player, it's inevitable we do plenty of stuff by ourselves. I will get the most nervous going into play by myself.
Yeah. I get that.
It's terrifying. It's also high reward when it does go well. But yeah, nothing beats a rock and Midnight Mix gig. We go there and we're safe. We're safe with each other.
Jazzy, philosophical question.
Love them.
Which version of you is the most honest? The man talking, the man performing, or the man alone with an instrument at 2 a.m.?
It's definitely the last one, obviously.
Is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Because I'm no longer bombarded with the cacophony of demonic voices telling me I'm not good enough. No. That's when I'm really just being a vessel for music going through me without any judgment from the critics, whether external or internal.
Fascinating.
Yeah, but there's honesty in all 3 of those versions of myself, I think.
Well said.
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing the fast 5 rapid fire question.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah.
What was your first email address?
Beethoven's 10th @hotmail.com.
I love it. Best song ever written?
Tears Dry on Their Own by Amy Winehouse.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Although that uses the chord progression of Ain't No Mountain High Enough. So is that the best song ever written? I don't know. We stand on the shoulders of giants. Sorry. It's supposed to be rapid fire.
Rapid fire?
Yeah, sorry.
Questions?
Yeah.
Worst song ever written?
Oh, sorry. I hate Shut Up and Dance With Me.
Okay.
Everyone has their one song
sing
in
it
the
again.
convention.
I'll never sing it again.
Yes, you will. That's the song in the set that
don't you dare look back. Just keep your eyes on me.
It's nails on a chalkboard to me, unfortunately.
Okay. Gayest song ever written?
Finally. Priscilla,
yeah.
finally.
Yeah.
100%.
What's a lyric you wish you wrote?
Oh, when Bjork said, car parts and cutlery, I throw them off the cliff, and what sound do them? It's definitely that.
Is that from Dancer in the Dark?
That's from Hyper Ballad.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you only get to listen to one song for the rest of your life, what is it?
Dancing on My Own by Robin.
Oh, the Robin version though.
Yeah. The original, the Robin version.
I'm in the corner.
Yeah.
So good.
When I was 19, I was at the Peel and a guy that I was seeing at the time was making out with some other twink and I was dancing by myself in the corner. That song played and it sort of like imprinted itself on my memory since then.
Oh, little Jazzy.
Yeah, I know.
Please thank my guest, Jazzy B, on the sax and the
pleasure.
flute and the keys and the.
He's
very good. If you want to check him out,
honky-tonk.
head to @JazzyBSax. But also you can book him through Evie Creative Entertainment. Thank you so much, my Jazzy.
Thanks, Bryony Dawson. Love you.
We listen
and we learn, and we don't judge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.